Good morning, class. Yesterday we had done the characteristics of non-chordates and discussed a few phyla, that is Porifera and Coelenterata, under non-chordates. Today I will be discussing the characteristics of phylum Platyhelminthes. The third phylum under non-chordates is phylum Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes comprises of flatworms. Now, these worms have flat bodies which may be leaf-like or ribbon-like. They are triploblastic. Triploblastic organisms. They are bilaterally symmetrical. These organisms are mostly parasitic. There do exist some free-living worms like Planaria, but they are mostly parasitic in nature. That is, they draw nutrition from a living host. For that, they have suckers or hooks for attachment to the host. And that's how they suck their food from a living host and are called parasitic in nature. They are simple in the sense that respiratory system and circulatory system are absent. Whereas excretory system is developed and a special kind of cells are present which are called flame cells. Excretory system is present and special cells called flame cells are present for excretion. This is an important thing. Besides this, these organisms are hermaphrodite. That is, they are bisexual. Bi means two. Both sexes are present in the same individual. Both sexes, that is male and female sex organs, are present in the same individual. Common examples of this phylum are Planaria. Planaria is a free-living worm. This is very few organisms under this phylum. Under phylum Platyhelminthes are free-living. Planaria is one. Other parasitic forms are liver fluke, which is Fasciola hepatica, tapeworm, which is Taenia solium. So these are important characteristics of phylum Platyhelminthes and their examples. Now we move on to the next phylum, Ascahelminthes. Ascahelminthes is also called Nematoda or Nemathelminthes. Next phylum. Phylum 4 is Ascahelminthes, or we also call it Nematoda or even Nemathelminthes. The organisms of this phylum are commonly called roundworms because the body is soft, unsegmented, cylindrical, because of which they are called roundworms, and the body is tapering at both ends. That is, it is slightly narrower at the anterior end and the posterior end. So we say it is tapering at both ends. These organisms are also triploblastic. They are bilaterally symmetrical. They are pseudocoelomate. Pseudo means false. False coelom is present. They are pseudocoelomate organisms. Then again, a few parasitic and few free living forms are found. Free living as well as parasitic forms are found in this phylum. The respiratory system and circulatory system is absent, and these organisms are unisexual, that is, the male and the female exist independently or are separate. They are independent individuals or separate individuals. Common examples of this are roundworm. Actually, all of them are called roundworms, but roundworm is Ascaris. Then hookworm. Hookworm is ankylostoma. Hookworm, ankylocyclostoma, and then the filaria worm, which is called Wuchereria. These are the common roundworms or organisms belonging to Aschelminthes. After this, we come to the next phylum. Next phylum is Annelida. Annelida, the worms are also cylindrical, but they are segmented. Next phylum is Annelida. These worms are cylindrical and they are called segmented worms. So, body of these worms is cylindrical. It is divided into segments, and these segments are called annuli. Segments are called annuli. They are also called ring. The segments are ring-like. That is, suppose this is a cylindrical worm. It has got ring-like segments like this. Segmented ring-like segments are present, and these organisms are also triploblastic. They are bilaterally symmetrical, and they have tube within tube type of body organization. Now, the digestive, circulatory, respiratory systems are well developed. And the excretory system is made up of long coiled tubules called nephridia. Important characteristic. Nephridia are present for the purpose of excretion. Now, sometimes the segments of these segmented worms have locomotory organs which are called setae. The segments have locomotory organs called setae. This is important. And respiration in these organisms is through moist skin or by gills. Respiration is by moist skin or sometimes by gills, and the common examples of these organisms is earthworm, Ferritima, Posthuma, earthworm. Then we have leech, Nereis. Now all of you must have seen earthworm. Earthworm is cylindrical, segmented, and has ring-like segments. Now earthworm is very important for agriculture. I will erase this and write about earthworm. Earthworms are also called farmers' friends because they live in moist, damp soil by making burrows. And for making burrows, they dig into the soil, they eat the soil. They eat the soil, and from the soil they derive their food. From soil they derive their food, and in the process they aerate the soil, make it porous, which is good for the roots of the plants. And at the same time they give out nitrogenous wastes into the soil. So, besides being porous, aerating, which is good for oxygen is available for the roots of the soils, they are also adding fertility to the soil. The soil becomes fertile due to the nitrogenous waste added by the earthworms. Now, because of this reason, they are called farmers' friends. And of late, the culture of these earthworms is called vermiculture, and this vermiculture is used for composting organic matter. Dead remains of leaves, crops, other organic matter, vegetable peels, etc. They are decomposed by the action of earthworms, and this process of making manure compost is called vermicompost. So economically, the earthworm, which is an annelid, a segmented worm, is very important because of its ability to aerate the soil, to make the soil fertile, and they eat soil and they take out soil, and those soil, the soil that comes out of the earthworm is called castings of earthworm, and this castings of earthworm are very healthy for the soil because it is rich in nitrogenous wastes. So this was about Annelida. Now we come to the next phylum, Arthropoda. Come to the next phylum, Arthropoda. Arthropoda is comprised of animals which have jointed segments. Now the body of these organisms is divided into segments. And broadly, body is divided into three regions: head, thorax, and abdomen. The arthropods, they are triploblastic. They have a true body cavity called coelom, and this body cavity is filled with blood. Filled with blood, and so it is called hemocoel. And the organs lie in this fluid in the hemocoel. The organs are embedded in the hemocoel with fluid all around. Then some or almost most of the segments have one pair of legs. Have a pair of legs for locomotion. All the systems, circulatory, digestive, respiratory systems, the systems are well developed. Respiratory, digestive, circulatory, the systems are well developed. A very important characteristics of arthropods is that they have an external skeleton, what we call as exoskeleton, made up of chitin. This is a very important characteristic. Chitinous exoskeleton, and often this exoskeleton is cast off. Casting takes place, and the casting of this exoskeleton is called molting. That is, new skeleton is formed and the old one is lost. Now, these arthropods are found almost everywhere, in water, on land, in air. They are found in water, like the crabs, prawns, king crab. These are found in water. They are found in on land, like the mosquitoes, flies, beetles, butterflies, other insects, grasshoppers, dragonflies. So they are found on land. They are also found in air. You can say these are the ones that are found on in air. Okay. Actually, they are found on land and in air. And the ones that are found on land are the centipedes, the millipedes, scorpions, etc. So they are found in almost all kinds of habitats. So these were the important features of Arthropoda. Now we move on to the next phylum, that is Mollusca. Mollusca is comprised up of soft-bodied animals which are protected by shell. They are soft-bodied animals protected by shells. Echinoderms are soft, unsegmented organisms that are enclosed in a fold of skin, and this is called mantle. And just above the mantle is a hard, brittle, calcareous shell. Now, the shell is for protection of this soft-bodied animal, the mollusks. All of them are soft-bodied, covered by shells. Shell is giving them protection. So, this shell is for protection. Now the shell is made up of calcium carbonate and it is actually secreted by the mantle. The mantle secretes the shell which covers the mantle and protects it. Then this is secreted by the mantle. Then the body of mollusks is triploblastic. It is bilaterally symmetrical and is coelomate. Has a true body cavity coelom, so it is coelomate. Now the body is divided into head, foot and visceral mass. Now this foot is a very important organ. Foot is ventral. This is the locomotory organ of mollusks. Helps in locomotion, movement from one place to another, and at the same time helps in capturing prey. Is for defense also and helps in capturing prey. Now most of the mollusks, they are marine. They are marine, found in sea. But some, like the garden snail, these days we see the snails, the slugs which we see in the garden. These garden snails and slugs are also mollusks, but they are some of the few forms, that are found on land. So this is a kind of exception. Now other examples, I'll have to erase this to write the examples. Other examples of the mollusks are pila, which is commonly called apple snail. Then we have unio, which is freshwater mussel. Then we have oysters, pearl oysters, octopus, sepia, that is the cuttlefish. So these are some, all of these are marine, found in sea. So this is about mollusca. Now we move to the next phylum, the last phylum, phylum 8 under non-chordates. I think I have not written the number of the previous phylum. This is phylum Echinodermata, the last phylum under non-chordates. Echinodermata has spiny skinned animals. Again, these animals are found in sea, generally at the base of the bottom of the sea, where they crawl, creep, or they are even fixed, sedentary, do not move in one place. These are triploblastic, they are coelomate, they are radially symmetrical. Actually, the body of the echinoderms is spherical, cylindrical or star-shaped. Body is spherical, cylindrical or star-shaped. And they have an oral and an arboreal surface. Now they have many tube feet, numerous tube feet, which is a characteristic feature of echinoderms, and the end of the tube feet has a sucker. So these tube feet help in locomotion, they are the locomotory organs. Besides that, Besides this, they also help in crawling, creeping and capturing prey. So tube feet is a characteristic feature of echinoderms. Besides this, echinoderms, the common examples of echinoderms are starfish, sea urchin, brittle star, then another example is sea cucumber. So as I told you, echinoderms are spiny skinned animals found in sea, and the common examples are starfish, sea urchin, sea cucumber and brittle star. And so these are the important features of all the 8 phyla, important characteristics of all the 8 phyla that come under non-chordates, and we have done the examples of each. With this, we have completed non-chordates, and on the next turn I will be starting with phylum Chordata. So good luck till then, stay safe and stay healthy.